This program is brought to you by Best on CIQS Project.
Over the years, iba-ibang misimpressions at misinterpretations ang ating naririnig tungkol sa Mindanao. Bagamat kilala ang Mindanao bilang food basket ng Pilipinas, lingid sa kaalaman ng marami, 1/3 po sa kita ng ekonomiya ng bansa ay galing sa Mindanao. Kaya naman sa isang panibagong edisyon ng Talk Mindanao, samahan niyo po kaming tuklasin ang mga magaganda at kamangha-manghang bagay na makikita sa isla ng Mindanao. Magandang gabi po. Ako po si Ethel Cantor Constantino at ito ang Talk Mindanao. Did you know that Mindanao has become a gateway to opportunity para sa mga Filipinos at international investors who are eyeing for opportunities in agribusiness, industry, and tourism? That's right, at yan ang ating aalamin ngayong gabi. Kilala ang Sarangani Province sa magagandang mga white sand beaches nito. Kaya naman isa na rin ito sa mga pangunahing tourist destinations sa Pilipinas. Bagamat umunlad na ang turismo ng Sarangani Province, tinututukan naman ngayon ang pagpapaunlad ng business sector sa lugar. Binuksan at pinalakas ng local government ng Sarangani Province ngayon ang trade linkages sa mga karatig bansa na kasapi ng East ASEAN Growth Area. Sa tulong ng Glan Tahuna route ng BIMP-IAGA, binabantayan ng mabuti ngayon ng gobyerno ang pagpasok sa lalawigan ng mga negosyante galing Indonesia. Sa loob lamang ng 12 oras, mararating na ang Glan Sarangani Province galing Tahuna, Indonesia, sakay ng barko. Ang BIMP-IAGA o ang Brunei Darussalam, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, East ASEAN Growth Area o BIMP-IAGA ay isang proyekto ng gobyerno kung saan layunin nito na matulungan ang pagpasok ng negosyo sa mga sub-regions sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay ng mga impormasyon tungkol sa mga business opportunities sa mga future investors na papasok sa mga bansang kasapi ng BIMP-IAGA. At sa tulong naman ng BES or BIMP-IAGA Support Team on Customs, Immigration, Quarantine and Security o CIQS, isang proyekto ng Australian Agency for International Development at ng Mindanao Development Authority, itinayo ang CIQS Task Force at naglagay pa ng OSAC o One Stop Shop Action Center sa Glan Port. Ito'y upang mapadali ang proseso ng mga local at foreign traders at maiwasan ang pagpasok at paglabas sa bansa ng mga illegal na mga negosyante.
Plano nang itinayo itong CIQS dito sa Glan, lalo na yung CIQS OSAC building, malaking naitulong yun dahil mas napapabilis yung mga transaksyon ng bawat negosyante or yung mga clientele namin. Nabibigyan sila ng mas mabilis na transaksyon. Ang transaksyon ng bawat agency, lalo na ang sa customs, meron na silang kanyang yung mga tinatawag natin cargo manifest. Immigration, nagkukuhan doon sa tao naman kasi yung sa kanila purely in cargo, sa amin purely in sa kanang mga stamping ng passport, kung ano yung mga pumapasok ng mga foreigner na pumupunta sa ating bansa o lumalabas sa ating bansa. So about the quarantine, sila naman yung bumibigay ng kwan. Sila yung nag-process ng mga kung may sakit yung arriving passenger or departing passenger. So parang bawat isa may kanya-kanyang importanteng role.
Kamakailan lamang nag-dock sa port ng Glan mula Tahuna, Indonesia ang barkong Sunlia at isa sa mga negosyante na sakay sa naturang barko ay si Bernard Singat. Gusto nitong mag-angkat ng mga local products sa Sarangani at Tiensan upang ibenta sa Tahuna at plano din nitong mag-export ng kanilang local products sa Sarangani Province.
Right now, I was looking, there's many items. But right now, I'm looking for like a spring. That's most common that we use now in Tahuna. Any household product, you know, like clothing things. We looking forward for that, and also for the coal. Then we have a supply from Kalimantan that we can send it here. So there's many products. We have some items that we carry from Indonesia, like food things, you know, like noodles, that product from Indonesia. And we like to looking forward, maybe possible have a market in Philippines. This is the most convenience that we have right now. Instead, then we don't have a transportation like airplane. Now we don't have a directly from Davao. We have to go full to Manila and then go to Davao. Now with this boat, it's very close for us and more easy.
Todo naman ang suporta na ibinibigay ng local government ng Glan.
I am just elected mayor. So kaupo ko pa lang, hindi ko pa sila masyadong nakakausap kung ano talaga ang needs nila. So I will be asking them kung anong maitutulong ng aking administrasyon para sa CIQS. We could assure them 100% sa security na walang mangyayari sa kanila, no? Yung mga bisita natin. And especially doon sa mga cargo na 100% na walang mawawala, walang mananakaw.
One project that we've started and have implemented is CIQS, which is the Customs, Immigration, Quarantine, and Security. Kung saan nilagay natin lahat ng ahensya ng gobyerno para pwedeng mag-import at export ang mga mamuhunan dito sa Sorsogen through Sarangani that basically gives them access to a new market we call BIMP Yaga. What we want to do is to enable our people to participate in the global environment.
Natahasan naman ang Chamber of Commerce ng Glan na siyang tumutok sa nasabing proyekto.
What we have done on our side to facilitate the trade much better is we have organized the Glan Chamber of Commerce as the main consolidator of all trade with Indonesia. So we have created a company that will handle all of that. So kung mayroong ibang tao na gustong pumasok with Indonesia, of course they can do it themselves. But with the existing infrastructure that we provide, I think it would be much easier for them to do trading with Indonesia. Kasi within our chamber, we have the export importation license. We have the vessel that will go in and out of Indonesia. We have the two people in Indonesia who will do the canvassing for us. So in that sense, no, we have already slowly built up the infrastructure to facilitate trade with Indonesia.
Ang pagkakaroon ng magandang relasyon ng mga negosyante na kasapi sa East ASEAN Growth Area ay isang magandang simula upang umunlad palalo ang ekonomiya ng Mindanao. Kailangan lang itong mapalago upang ang sinimulang proyekto ay maipamamana sa susunod pang henerasyon.
Kung totoo yung sinasabi ng pag-asa na because of climate change, yung El Nino cycle will no longer be every 5 years but every 3 years.
Sa kabila ng pagsusumikap ng local government ng Sarangani Province na mapalago ang kanilang business industry, dumaan naman po sa malaking pagsubok ang Mindanao nitong nagdaang mga buwan at isa sa mga apektado nito ay ang naturang lalawigan. Dahil sa pagtama ng El Nino ng summer, nagkaroon ng power crisis sa Mindanao. 3 hanggang 8 oras na blackout ang tinitiis sa mga Mindanaoans noong nakaraang buwan ng Marso hanggang Mayo. At malaki ang naging epekto ng power crisis na ito sa Mindanao, hindi lang sa mga ordinaryong konsumante, pati na rin sa business sector. Ngunit marami ang nagtataka at nagtatanong kung meron ba talagang power crisis sa Mindanao. Ano nga ba ang dahilan ng pagkakaroon ng power crisis sa buong rehiyon? Ayon sa mga private power companies, dumanas talaga ng power crisis ang Mindanao sa nakaraang mga buwan at ngayon lamang ito unti-unting bumabalik sa normal.
Well, basically, the supply situation has stabilized because the water level in Lake Lanao is now over the critical level of 699.5. It is, as of today, it's 699.72. So, in effect, medyo nag-stabilize na yun. And that's why we're now experiencing wala ng brownout. We have a peculiar case in Mindanao because our hydro generating capacity accounts for almost 60% of our total capacity. Kung totoo yung sinasabi ng pag-asa na because of climate change, yung El Nino cycle will no longer be every 5 years but every 3 years, then if we cannot balance our generating mix, then every 3 years we will have this problem because we're solely dependent or we're heavily dependent on hydro, which is water. So pagka may El Nino, walang tubig, so 60% of our capacity will be out. So ang maiiwan na lang yan, 40%. Na pwede nating magamit sa entire island of Mindanao. And kung titingnan mo kung anong magnitude ng 40%, we have 24 hours, no? Kung ang 50% is 12 hours, so it will be more than 12 hours yung rotational brownout. Yun extent kung maiiwan na lang 40%.
Bagamat di tayo nakakaranas ng rotational brownout ngayon, kinatatakutan naman na muli itong mararanasan sa susunod na taon.
One problem that I saw was the inconsistent policies of government in terms of in encouraging private sector investments in power generation. So it is really the task, especially local governments, no? And the national government to show and provide a stable atmosphere so that this will create incentives for the private sector to be able to invest. Tulad ngayon, ang power generation ay binigay na sa pribadong sektor na tayo sa gobyerno ay binibenta na natin yung mga power generating units natin. And considering that hydro accounts for about 70% ng power generation ng Mindanao, the mix is slowly becoming equal, no, to diesel and coal. So ang pinaka-importante ngayon ay gagawa tayo lahat ng moves natin sa iba't ibang local governments, provinces, and of course the national government to provide incentives sa mga pribadong sektor.
Sa kabila po ng problema natin sa kuryente, may ilan na gustong solusyonan ito. At isa na nga po dito ang planong pagtayo ng coal-fired power plant ng kumpanyang Conal sa Maasim, Sarangani. Solusyon nga ba ito o baka maging banta lamang po sa ating kalikasan? More of that when Talk Mindanao returns.
But projections indicate that we would need around 200 megawatts by 2011 or 2012. This is according to the DOE's projections.
naging madali para sa mga Mindanaoans ang epekto ng power outages sa Mindanao. Sa Sarangani Province, maraming mga businessmen ang kailangan pang bumili ng mga power generator bilang alternative source ng kuryente upang hindi maantala ang takbo ng kanilang negosyo. Kaya naman naisipan ng Alcantara-led Conal Holdings Corporation na magtayo ng coal-fired power plant sa Maasim, Sarangani Province.
We experience a lot of outages, some places as long as 12 hours. This is really because of the lack of water in Lake Lanao and brought about by the drought resulting from the El Nino, the occurrence of the El Nino phenomenon. Demand for power in Mindanao has been growing historically at a steady rate of 3% per annum. On the other hand, our supply of electricity has not grown at the same rate. In fact, the last power plant that was commissioned, baseload power plant that was commissioned, was the Stayag 200 megawatt power plant in 2006. The only plant that followed Stayag was 42 megawatt Sibulan Hydro plant of Headcore in Davao. But projections indicate that we would need around 200 megawatts by 2011 or 2012. This is according to the DOE's projections. And we are now in 2010. And it takes at least 2 years to develop a baseload power plant and another 3 years to build it. So if the power plant is needed in 2012, we should have started the development of these plants in 2007 and construction by last year, 2009. So we're a little bit late in terms of securing our long-term baseload power requirements.
Bagamat may magandang layunin ang Conal na makatulong sa pagsusupply ng kuryente, lalo na sa Soc-Surgeon area, marami pa rin ang kumukwestiyon sa proyektong ito na baka maging dahilan lamang ito sa pagkasira ng ating kalikasan.
Well, there are many issues that are being raised against coal-fired power plants, not just in Mindanao, not just in the Philippines, but all over the world. But I think it's going to be very useful to understand what is it really that we should be concerned about when it comes to any type of power generation. When you talk of the usual pollutants like sulfur dioxides, oxides of nitrogen, and total suspended particulates, for example, all these things are addressed fully by technology. There are schools of thought that indicate that there's too much carbon dioxide being produced, and certainly this is an issue that needs to be addressed. And our project, even if it is not required by law or by the government, is going to address our carbon dioxide emissions by establishing its own carbon sink.
May isang investment na mukhang papasok. At ito ay magbibigay ng stable supply of energy, especially to Region 12. Kapag ang isang investor ay gustong magtayo ng isang planta, manufacturing man, or shipbuilding, or cold storage, or factory ng tuna, kapag alanganin ang power supply, hahanap yung ibang lugar kung sa manguhunan. And Sarangani or Jensen will not be part of that list. That's why part of our job is not only to look at what's best and good for Sarangani, but also think about our neighbors, because Sarangani is on an island. And again, I'm saying, nobody's an island.
Kinababahala din ng mga konsumante ang pagtaas ng singil sa kuryente kung sakaling maitayo ang coal-fired power plant sa Sarangani Province.
Right now, Mindanao is enjoying the cheapest grid rate. We have, I think we're only paying around 2.90, 3 pesos per kilowatt hour compared to almost 5 pesos in Luzon and in the Visayas. And this is largely because 50%, or 53% to be exact, of our supply of electricity here comes from hydro. As demand grows, the contribution of non-hydro power plants in Mindanao will increase. Why is that? Because hydro capacity is fixed. The operation of our coal-fired power plant in General Santos, for example, will in fact help reduce the cost of electricity. Because in the case of General Santos and Sarangani, the power plant will be connected directly to Socoteco 2, the distribution utility here. And because it's connected directly, then we do not have to charge for the cost of transmission, which we are paying for right now. So if you take out the cost of transmission, even if the generation cost of coal is a bit higher than hydro, the net procurement cost or delivery cost of power to Socoteco 2 will be lower.
Naging malaking problema man ng Mindanao ang brownout sa mga nakaraang buwan, ipinakita pa rin ng mga Mindanaoans na may solusyon sa bawat hamon ng buhay. Ang pagsubok sa modernong paraan ng pagsusupply ng kuryente sa ibang bahagi ng Mindanao ay isang malaking tulong upang di matigil ang pag-unlad ng ating ekonomiya.
Glan is the only, I think, municipality na maganda yung benta natin sa tourism in the entire Sarangani province with our beaches na napakaganda.
Sarangani has a lot to offer waiting to be discovered at isa na nga po rito ang Gumasa Beaches na siguradong kamamanghaan ng marami dahil sa ganda ng white sand dito. Ito ay makikita sa Glan, Sarangani Province. Known as Boracay of the South, Gumasa has a breathtaking view that will surely invite people to stay long in this cozy and undisturbed place. Naging malakas ang turismo ng Glan dahil sa magagandang dagat dito. Tuwing Mayo, ipinagdiriwang din dito ang Sarangani Bay Fest, the biggest beach festival sa Southern Philippines. Kaya naman, isa sa tututukan ng bagong lokal na pamahalaan ng Glan ngayon ay ang pagpapaunlad ng kanilang turismo.
First and foremost is tourism because Glan is the only, I think, municipality na maganda yung benta natin sa tourism in the entire Sarangani province with our beaches na napakaganda. And investors have already started investing in Glan. So, tourism is number one.
Sa mga mahilig mag-travel at adventure, Sarangani is one of the perfect places to visit. 1-hour drive from General Santos City, mararating na at mai-experience mo ang ganda ng Gumasa Beaches. And the white sand beach is the reason why people keep on coming back in Glan, Sarangani Province. Ang bawat proyekto na ginagawa ng ating pamahalaan ay mga bagay na dapat nating ingatan at pahalagahan. Ngunit sa bawat bagong proyekto, lagi din nating isaalang-alang ang kapakanan ng taong bayan at ang kapaligiran. Samahan niyo puli ako sa susunod na linggo para sa panibagong kwentuhan at kaalaman dito lang po sa Talk Mindanao.
This program was brought to you by Best on CIQS Project.
Mapukaw ang bata. Shh! Ayaw pag-away. Ang bata, madamay. Dambuhon mo ang kalinaw sa umaabot nga adlaw. Ug mapuhon makalakaw ngadto sa wala na'y mingaw. Dambuhon mo ang kalinaw sa umaabot nga adlaw. Ug mapuhon makalakaw ngadto sa wala na'y mingaw. Pasagdi ang bata in taon, magdamgo nga malinawon. Magmatanaw, Mindanao, anian na ang kalinaw.